In this video, I want to show you debug mode in Cursor. Debug mode is a very useful way of using Cursor agent in your coding when you need to find a bug, find a problem you are struggling to find. If you open Cursor, you can switch modes here, and you know that we have agent mode, which is kind of default mode where we ask agent to do something and it implements the thing that we asked it to do. There is a plan mode when we first generate a plan and then we execute this plan using Cursor. There is also ask mode. In ask mode, Cursor doesn't modify files by itself. And there is this debug mode, which is useful for finding bugs. Here you might ask, why do I need a separate debug mode if I can just use agent mode and ask coding agent to find a problem and fix a bug? Well, in some cases, you're right. In some cases, agents can be very useful in finding bugs, especially if this bug is obvious from code. But sometimes you need to do a lot of debugging, and you as a developer, you know that sometimes you can look at the code and find the problem, but sometimes you need to do a lot of manual debugging, do a lot of see what's inside variables in your code, and track like actions that you do with your program, and see the logs and kind of analyze all the things together in order to fix something. And this is what debug mode is for. Let's take a look at how it works, and it will be easier to understand what it does and why it is useful and how to use it. I have this platform, which is a platform we use for grading assignments with AI. And so we have multiple tabs on this page: assignment brief, submissions, and grading prompt. And in the submissions tab, I see that no submissions yet here, but I know there should be a submission. No error happening here, but I know that there is a mistake because there is submission there. So how do I use debug mode here? So first I need to select debug mode here in chat in the agent. Now I can use this feature in the browser and Cursor. I can just select this area and it will add it to chat. I can also select this tab, and I can describe. I don't see any submissions, but there should be one. And let's run and see what happens. So what's going on here? First, it generated multiple hypotheses of what can be the root cause of the problem. The second thing it did is it added some debug logging to the code. And now when I interact with the page, there is a file, debug log, where it tracks all the minor things that happened that are related to this problem I described. So if I refresh the page, I see the new line appears here. I refresh the page, again, new line here. And now it asks me to reproduce the problem. So I see that I restarted the server. In the browser, I'm in submissions tab. So okay, reload the page while staying on the tab, press proceed, mark as fixed. So proceed, it means that, okay, we reproduced the problem. Okay, and now it analyzed the logs that happened while me reproducing the bug. It confirmed the first hypothesis, and it introduced the fix. And now it asks me to confirm that the fix is done. So I confirm that I see the submission. Okay, so I'm saying mark as fixed, and it just sends the issue has been fixed. Please clean up the instrumentation. And now it should remove all the debug logging it has added during the fix. Okay, so it removed all the debug logging, it removed the file with log itself, and now I just have the fix. So when would you use agent mode and when would you use debug mode? So by default, I usually prefer to use agent mode because very often it can handle the problem itself. But sometimes I really benefit from debug mode, especially in cases where you really need this precise debugging when there is some other components of the website affecting other components, and they are like from completely different places in the code base. And I see that agent is struggling to fix something. I usually switch to debug mode, and it very often it really helps. And obviously, the more complicated system you work with, the more useful debug mode should be for you.